the governance of Honorable Brihanmumbai Municipal Modi ji in last 10 years and they have compared it with the 60 years. People saw the working of the government in the Maharashtra under leadership of Sri Devendra Fadnavis in last 10 years and they compared with the last 60 years. And what the result is that the 10 years are much better than the total outcome of the 60 years. They know well that what we tell we do and we don't tell anything which we cannot do. That faith they have in the Narendra Modi ji, Devendra Fadnavis ji and Eknath Shinde ji. That is the reason they voted for us. Secondly, they are concerned about the security. Ghuspaich is taking place, infiltration is taking place in Mumbai all around. Not only Bangladeshi Rohingya but the other way also. And they know well that if it is not stopped now, then it will become out of control and it will become another Bengal or Bangladesh. That is the reason they have come together. Thirdly, they want the new economic development and the job and the new business.
There was a lot of talk about how Mumbai and the BMC election was proving to be a battleground when it came to the battle of ideologies as well. When the Marathi Asmita, which was also on the top of agenda of the Thakres, was being challenged by BJP's Hindutva ideology. But it's not just perhaps the Hindutva ideology, it's also politics of development that has spoken today.
You see that it is not question of Marathi Asmita. It was a question of Thakre Asmita. They were not concerned about the existence of Marathis. It is a Maharashtra. So there cannot be any question or any problem about the Asmita existence of Marathi dominance. It is there, it will be there forever. But only question is whether the Thakre will remain in power or not. That is the reason they have taken a cover of Marathi Asmita that people have defied. People know well that behind the curtain of the Marathi Asmita, they are trying to take care of themselves, which people are not agreeing.
So there's also a lot of chatter about BJP social engineering, where you've touched upon 4 stratas over here. You're looking at not just catering to the Marathis, you're talking about also catering to the migrant population which have come out, say, from states like Uttar Pradesh, North India particularly, and have settled down, the Dalits, and of course the Gujarati Marwadi elite as well. I'd like a word from you on that.
We don't divide the peoples in their communities. We feel that all Mumbaikas are same till they are having the faith in the ideology of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. That is the reason every caste have voted for us and they will continue to vote for us and we will continue to serve all of them without any discrimination.
So when you say without any discrimination, do you think it's the politics of inclusivity which has worked for BJP and the Shiv Sena Eknath Shinde faction versus the opposition particularly? Many are even talking about how the Congress should be regretting why they didn't join hands with the Thakres.
You see that Honorable Narendra Modi have already said, Sabka Saath, Sabka Vishwas, Sabka Vikas. But in that, everybody has to participate other way also. It cannot be one way. Till you are with the country, till you govern you abide by the Indian rules, for us all are same. But if you are here and wants to facilitate the incoming of the Ghuspaitias, then you are not welcome here.
All right, Mr. Lodha, thank you so much. The battle actually has begun now, given that you've ended the Matoshri's dominance in the civic body, but the deliverables await for the BJP and for Eknath Shinde's Shiv Sena. Many thanks to you, Mr. Lodha. Heartiest congratulations once again. On that note, let me quickly bring in Aman, who's also joining us live. He's been tracking minute-by-minute updates for us on the BMC election, and I'm also joined in by Professor Sanjay Kumar, who's a psephologist. Aman, first to come to you, what are the key takeaways now as far as the victory is concerned?
Well, Akanksha, I think it's a phenomenal victory. If you look at the numbers, well, 128 is the total number for the NDA.
Welcome back. Now shifting focus over to other stories that are grabbing headlines. This as violence broke out in Murshidabad and North Dinajpur districts of West Bengal during the special intensive revision of electoral rolls. Protesters have vandalized government offices and blocked highways in Farakka, Murshidabad. A mob even targeted the BDO office, disrupting SIR hearings. The unrest spread to Chakulia in North Dinajpur, where protesters blocked a state highway, the NH12, and vandalized the BDO office, causing an estimated 20 lakh in damage. Several police personnel were injured and an FIR has been filed. The Election Commission has directed authorities to identify and arrest those responsible for the killing that took place of the Murshidabad migrant in Jharkhand.
आपका ये जो कमेंट है ये इटसेल्फ थोड़ा कम्युनल है राम
कम्युनियल किया है तो कम्युनियल तो किया है और कम्युनियल काम करता है वो आपका जो खसरा वोटर जो निकला है उसमें निकलने का बाद प्राय 79,000 आदमी को हियरिंग बुला रहा है उसमें से 75,000 आदमी 75,000 आदमी मोहम्मदन है जिस बूथ में आपको 1100 वोट है 1100-1200 वोट है 1000 वोट है 50% से ज्यादा आदमी को बुला रहा है तो खसरा वोटर कैसे निकल गए
पर उसके बाद में लोग भड़क उठे और मतलब तोड़फोड़ हुआ
हम तो आदमी को समझा रहे थे हम भी जानते हैं कि ये प्रॉपर्टी सरकारी प्रॉपर्टी आम आदमी का प्रॉपर्टी है हम संभाल रहे थे एक दो आदमी ऐसी कुर्सी फुर्सी मन के चलिए कि ऐसा किया है बाकी तो सब आज स्मूथली काम हो रहा है
মানুষকে যেভাবে হ্যারাস করা হচ্ছে এটা ক্ষোভের বহিঃপ্রকাশ এরা ঘুষপেটিয়ার কথা বলে আমাদের বাংলাদেশি বলে এই যে 58 লক্ষ নাম বাদ গেছে তাদের মধ্যে কজন বাংলাদেশি আপনারা জিজ্ঞেস করুন বিজেপি নেতাদের মানুষের ক্ষোভের বহিঃপ্রকাশ কিন্তু আমি আপনাদের মাধ্যমে অ্যাপিল করতে পারি যে মানুষ যাতে শান্ত থাকে সংযত থাকে সবার উপর যে চাপ তৈরি করেছে ইলেকশন কমিশন 2 বছরের কাজ 2 মাসে করতে হবে এর জন্য একমাত্র দায়ী ভারতীয় জনতা পার্টি এবং ইলেকশন কমিশন এরা ভাবছে নোটিশ পাঠিয়ে মানুষকে শিক্ষা দেবো মানুষ ভোট দেয়নি বলে যত নোটিশ এরা পাঠাবে বিজেপির ভোট তত কমবে
देखिए हम लोग कोई लॉ ब्रेक करने का कोई सपोर्ट नहीं कर रहा लेकिन देखना होगा वहां पे इलेक्शन कमीशन क्या कर रहे हैं जेन्युइन वोटर्स को हैरास कर रहा है बुजुर्गों को हैरास कर रहा है जो फिजिकली वीक है इल है और एम्बुलेंस में जाना पड़ रहा है और हैरास कर रहा है बार बार एक ही आदमी एक ही परिवार को हैरास कर रहा है डॉक्यूमेंट्स देने के पर भी वो रिसीव नहीं कर रहा है तो पब्लिक को वो प्रोवोक कर रहा है तो एक गरीब आदमी कितना बार एक ऑफिस में जाएंगे काम छोड़ के तो शायद वहां पर वैसे कोई प्रॉब्लम हुआ हम लोग डिटेल सब कलेक्ट कर रहे हैं
Let's take with the story getting in breaking inputs. The BJP is now accusing the TMC of allowing violence and chaos in West Bengal from Farakka to Chakulia. Roads and trains have been blocked. Stone pelting is continuing and thousands of people, including women and children, are stranded. The party says lawlessness shows the state is under TMC-backed hooligans with no police action to restore order. Listen to the reaction coming in from BJP's Shiv Sena.
See, a similar kind of pattern was also observed during the when CA was passed in the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, and also during the Waqf. So it's a pattern. So it is nothing to relate with SIR or CA or the Waqf. The main thing is the communal Muslim force. Some portion of the Muslim community has become, actually they have been radicalized by the preachers, those are from Bangladesh and some people from this part of the state also. They are ready to disrupt the normal life.
Remember, Shukant Majumdar is currently talking about this lawlessness in Bengal, which actually has a pattern. He is referring to what happened during the time when CA was also being passed. And this time around, he is saying that Bengal is no stranger to this kind of communal violence, also often that it's labelled as it is complete lawlessness, anarchy on the streets of West Bengal. And that is also something that the Supreme Court had weighed in on. But remember, blocking a key arterial highway like the NH12, blocking a railway station, this is bound to have impact not just on the commoners of Bengal, but also on the kind of, say, transportation that's taking place, the kind of trade that's taking place. Let's quickly go across to Kamalika Sengupta, who's bringing us those breaking inputs right now. Kamalika, interestingly, Shukanto Majumdar is saying that there's a pattern to this kind of lawlessness which one is witnessing in Bengal today. What has been the impact so far now that a key arterial highway like NH12 has also been blocked?
This is something which is really very painful, and this has happened, though it is the reason for today's this Rasta Roko is because of some migrant labor died in other states like Jharkhand, Bihar, and from he was beaten to death there, who hails from Beldanga. And today from morning his dead body was brought into the national highway, and then continuous protests were going on. Now this thing happened today. Yesterday it was Chakulia, which happened due to when the BDO office was vandalized, and day before yesterday it was Farakka, which was also because of SIR. The point is, if it's SIR or if it is for any other reason, why will a highway get blocked for more than 4 hours? And there the role of the administration definitely is questionable. Not only that, Akanksha, let me update you. One journalist of a media house, she has been brutally attacked today, and she is now hospitalized in Murshidabad. Her name is Shoma Maiti. She hails from the 24 Ghanta, the regional channel out here, and she was also severely attacked today. What will a journalist do if something like this happens? That journalist will go to cover that. But she was also attacked today. Now that is, you may ask justice, you should ask justice from the administration or whatever. What led these people attack a journalist is also a question, and definitely for the last 48 hours with SIR, it is being seen, people are harassed, people are being called for hearing. There are ways of protest, but why vandalize a video office? And there, the Trinamool Congress MLA himself was present there, Farakka, and when I asked him that why there should not be FIR against him, then he said that, and the statement which he made, that the Ram's paper was getting cleared and the Rahim's paper was not getting cleared.
So it's very interesting that you mentioned the presence of the TMC MLA, and my apologies for having interrupted you there, but shed light on BJP's own claims that this is in fact something that is being orchestrated by the TMC, as has been witnessed in the past. And it's interesting that you highlight that there was a TMC MLA present.
Yes, that is what is something which is concerning. The fact not only that, today Chief Minister, while she was on her way to North Bengal, when she was also asked all these questions, he said that people to remain calm, but she also stood by the minorities. That is also a question. Obviously, if there is a problem, the Chief Minister and the administration will stand by the people. But the point is, look at the lawlessness on ground. Why this lawlessness is not being controlled? And we have seen such type of lawlessness is during the walkout vote also. During the walkout. Now the point is, the Trinamool is saying that the BJP is behind that. The BJP is saying that the Trinamool is behind that. But the fact is, there is lawlessness on the ground. 4 hours, the national highway is being blocked. Trains have stopped. Not only that, a BDO office in Chakulia vandalized like anything. There was set on fire. Police was attacked. What's going on? That's a big question. There are definitely people can protest if they have problem with SIR. But that does not mean that they will be on roads. And the Trinamool Congress MLA going there in that BDO office itself is definitely a very big concerning. Who is inciting the crowd?
Also, Kamalika, the pattern that's emerging now is that the TMC is communalizing, say, a pan-India exercise like even the SIR. What is one to make of, say, the BDO's office being attacked, the Ram Rahim analogy being drawn, just when identification proof is being asked for a pan-India exercise that every Indian is undergoing currently?
Yes, and the point is, they may raise the point politically. That is okay. There are, if you are a citizen of India, then you have various ways to prove it. Go through those ways. But the point is, taking law into their hand And specifically, Akanksha, what happened today when a journalist went there to cover it, she was serially attacked there. She's now in hospital. That is something which is really concerning. What would a journalist do if something like this happens?
And on that note, very interesting you highlight that. So you're looking at central agencies like the Enforcement Directorate being sort of barged into when they are conducting raids. You're looking at calls for dharna outside the High Court when the hearing is going to take place, and now you're talking about a female journalist being attacked. What is the TMC trying to achieve over here?
That is which is very concerning. The people who were involved today in beating up the journalists, they were those people who were protesting. But the point is, now she went there for her work, as everyone of us goes. Then who are the people and why they are targeting? If they have something, see, it is very sad that a lot of people's name might get deleted. If they are citizen of India, there are a lot of provisions to which they can add their name. Even after the 14th, if the final draft roll comes out in 14th, and if you want to add your name, then there are rules. Form 6 is there. You can go and add and show that you are a valid voter. But this thing which is going on ground, this mobocracy, there is definitely the people whose name unnecessary will be deleted. Definitely that should be taken into consideration.
All right.
But there is way. That does not mean that everybody will take it out on the road. That is a question.
Absolutely. This is complete mobocracy, in fact, at the hands of the TMC. On that note, let's also listen in to the reactions that have come in. Remember, Shrikanta Majumdar of the BJP has already highlighted the pattern to this kind of hooliganism that the TMC has been resorting to. On the other hand, Kunal Ghosh of the TMC continues to, in fact, defend his party. Let's listen.
देखिए, हम लोग कोई लॉ ब्रेक करने का कोई सपोर्ट नहीं कर रहा, लेकिन देखना होगा वहां पे इलेक्शन कमीशन क्या कर रहे हैं। जेन्युइन वोटर्स को हैरास कर रहा है, बुजुर्गों को हैरास कर रहा है, जो फिजिकली वीक है, इल है और एम्बुलेंस में जाना पड़ रहा है, और हैरास कर रहा है बार बार। एक ही आदमी, एक ही परिवार को हैरास कर रहा है। डॉक्यूमेंट्स देने के पर भी वो रिसीव नहीं कर रहा है, तो पब्लिक को वो प्रोवोक कर रहा है। तो एक गरीब आदमी कितना बार एक ऑफिस में जाएंगे काम छोड़ के, तो शायद वहां पर वैसे कोई प्रॉब्लम हुआ। हम लोग डिटेल सब कलेक्ट कर रहे हैं।
See, a similar kind of pattern was also observed during the CA pass when CA was passed in the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, and also during the Waqf. So it's a pattern. So it is nothing to relate with SIR or CA or the Waqf. The main thing is the communal Muslim force. Some portion of the Muslim community has become, actually they have been radicalized by the preachers. Those are from Bangladesh, and some people from this part of the state also. They are ready to disrupt the normal life.
All right, shifting focus over to Telangana, a temple in Hyderabad's Purampur Darwaza area was vandalized, sparking tensions and clashes between residents and the police. The incident occurred on the night of 14th of January when unidentified individuals damaged an idol and tore a banner at the temple. Angered residents have protested, even blocked roads and damaged vehicles, leading to injuries to at least 10 people, including police personnel. The police have registered 2 FIRs, one for temple vandalism and another for damaging a nearby shrine and attacking the police as well. The AIMIM chief Asaduddin Owaisi has visited the area, urging calm and strict action against the perpetrators. The Bharatiya Janata Party leaders, including N. Ramachandra Rao, have condemned the incident, alleging a pattern of temple desecrations in Telangana. This incident comes after tensions also rose in Secunderabad after an idol at the Muthayalama temple was allegedly vandalized early on Monday as well. Listen into the reactions that have come in so far from all ends of the political spectrum.
We got some information about few anti-social elements came and nearby that temple, which is nearby Purana Pul Dwar temple. Some anti-social element entered and they tried to Tournament Flexi, we have registered a case on appropriate section, and we got some clues about the person also. So now situation is properly peaceful. There is nothing which is out of control. It is completely controlled, and our police people are doing proper patrolling to the night.
पुराने शहर में पुराना पुल दरवाज़ा, जहाँ शिवाजी महाराज यहाँ पर आके रुक के गए हैं करके ऐसा माना जाता है। और ये जो यहाँ पर जो इमारत है, इसमें छोटी सी एक मंदिर है और तहखाने में भी एक मंदिर है। कुछ मुसलमान बच्चे यहाँ पर आकर एक यहाँ शिवाजी के फ्लेक्सी को फाड़ दिए और कोशिश की गई कि हिंदू देवताओं को यहाँ पर अपमान किया जाए। ये जो घटना घटी है, ये अपने आप में एक साधारण घटना नहीं है। क्यों सोच समझकर हिंदुओं के देवी देवताओं को अपमान करने के लिए, हिंदुओं को भड़काने के लिए ये ऐसा काम चल रहा है।
If you see this pattern of these forces who belong to the Sangh Parivar, who are trying to create a communal disturbance in Hyderabad, majority of these incidents are happening in night time. And it is happening on an issue which has no relevance at all. They are trying to create a communal controversy. Some say a poster was torn, some say something happened over there. My concern is that what is the local police doing over there? And my request to the people of that area and people of Hyderabad is that we don't require such incidents at all. We require Hyderabad to be peaceful so that Hyderabad progresses.
Quickly go across to PV Ramana, who's been tracking the latest for us. PV Ramana, there's been 2 cases that have been filed. If you could shed more light on both the FIRs, what action has been taken so far, and of course follow it up with the pattern that is being spoken of by the BJP.
Yeah, police is still searching for the culprits who were vandalized this particular temple, which is happened day before yesterday in the Old City area of Hyderabad. So the temple, in that temple premises, all the idols and other things were damaged, other things were vandalized by unknown persons. And of course, by noticing that, all the people over there came over there and they staged protest against the entire issue and all. Police visited the space, and moreover, the place is that Puranapul area is completely Old City area of Hyderabad. The people was very sensitive area when it comes to the communal kind of a thing. So all the people came over there and they staged a protest over there. And the police also deployment. As of now, still the police deployment is very high in that particular area. Police stated that they will catch whoever the culprits for this entire incident and all. They will catch them in the 24 hours, but it's not happened. As of now, still the police is searching for the victim. Police is searching for the accused who did all these things and all. And it is created some politically also. It's very sensitive one because BJP, MIM, and BRS leaders visited that place. And they have seen that entire area and all. They demanded the police to catch the culprits.
So Ramana, when we talk about the political sort of the kind of political rhetoric that's building up, we are seeing how the BJP, the BRS are highlighting that there's been a spike in such incidents under the current Revanth Reddy government. But having said that, you also have someone like an Asaduddin Owaisi from the AIMIM who are saying that there are certain Sangh forces which are at play over here, which want to perhaps fan these kind of communal fears.
Yeah, even BJP Union Minister Pandit Sanjay told that he is not Revanth Reddy, he is Revanthuddin. That's what exactly coming from the Pandit Sanjay, in fact, because his allegation is that he's encouraging the communal things, communal rights, and moreover, he's trying to make the allegation that he is trying to encourage the Hindu temples, Hindu devotional places and all. And the MIM chief Asaduddin Owaisi also visited that place and he stated that, of course, he is also demanded the police to undertake more stringent action against the culprits and all, and he wanted more security in the temples and other prayer places, irrespective of the religion and all. So as of now, still the situation is very sensitive. Police deployment is very huge, very high in that area, and people who over there is still under the panic because the huge number of people were gathered. It has created a communal rights kind of a thing in Hyderabad. So it is created a lot of sensitive issue in Hyderabad. As of now, situation is under control. Police's deployment is high and trying to sabotage the entire things, trying to control the entire thing, in particular Puranapul area and the Charminar area of Hyderabad.
All right, many thanks to you, PV Ramana, for bringing us all those inputs. The situation, as Ramana has been highlighting, remains extremely volatile and fragile as far as Telangana is concerned, Hyderabad to be particular. And with that, shifting focus over to the top stories that we're tracking this hour. Prime Minister Modi has paid homage to Tamil poet Thiruvalluvar on his day, saying his works and ideals inspire countless people. He said that Thiruvalluvar stood for a harmonious and compassionate society and urged people to read his works to understand his timeless wisdom. Tamil Nadu Deputy Chief Minister Udayanidhi Stalin was seen flagging off the Palamedu Jallikattu in Madurai at Vijay's TVK's flag were also spotted at the venue, drawing attention. Posters reading non-Hindus entry prohibited area have been put up around Har Ki Pauri in Haridwar. The posters have triggered controversy, with questions being raised over their legality and the impact on communal harmony. Devotees are gathering in large numbers at the Triveni Sangam in Prayagraj as Magh Mela 2026 begins. Pilgrims are taking the holy dip or snans, believing it will purify their soul. Rehearsals for the 77th Republic Day Parade are in full swing at the Kartavya Path in the national capital. Marching contingents and tableau teams are gearing up for the grand celebration. Indian men's cricket team head coach Gautam Gambhir visited the Mahakaleshwar temple in Ujjain. He attended the early morning Bhasma Aarti, offering prayers at one of the 12 Jyotirlingas. And that's all I have for you in this broadcast. Thank you so much for watching. News and updates continue with Ayushman on the other side.
Hello and welcome to CNN News 18 with me, Ayushman Singh Jamwal. Here are the top headlines. The BJP breaches the Thackeray bastion as their 30-year-old rule in the Mumbai Civic body comes to an end. Mahayuti comfortably crosses the halfway mark. Reunion fails to help the Thackeray brothers as they lag far behind the Mahayuti. Nativist Raj loses over 90% of seats contested. The Pawar family reunion fails to make any impact in the family bastion of Pune as the united NCP languishes far behind the BJP, which is headed for a majority on its own in Maharashtra's cultural capital. And Rahul Gandhi at it again leads the Congress chorus of vote chori as the party shifts blame to the poll panel for its drubbing in the civic polls. BJP hits back, calls Rahul the leader of propaganda with zero credibility. After violence and vandalism over the special intensive revision, now Bengal's border district of Murshidabad burns over a migrant worker's death in Jharkhand. The BJP blames the TMC, accusing it of jungle rush. The Badminton Association of India's General Secretary denies sightings of monkeys inside the stadium despite video evidence. Says even if the reports are to be believed, no harm was done. Doctors' body writes to the Union Health Minister JP Nadda expressing grave concerns over the sub-zero cutoff in NEET, say it must be withdrawn else it will erode public trust in medical institutions. And tensions escalate in the Middle East. The US moves the carrier strike group to the region amid the tensions in Iran. And shifting our focus to the big political shift in the maximum city, the Maharashtra Civic poll results continue to pour in. The BJP-led alliance has surged past the 100-seat mark, while the Thackeray faction trails significantly at 68. NDA sources say that the Mumbai numbers indicate that the combined vote share of the BJP is at a whopping 34%, and the Shiv Sena at 20%, 54% decisively pushed the UBT and MNS combined to the margins. The Sharad Pawar-Ajit Pawar reunion in their strongholds of Pune and Pimpri-Chinchwad seems to be a flop, as the BJP has taken a huge lead in both the civic bodies. In Pimpri-Chinchwad, the BJP is ahead in 70 wards, while the Pawars are leading in 40 wards. The spotlight is on Mumbai, where the Thackeray brothers have reunited to reclaim their heritage and are standing against the BJP Shiv Sena alliance. But at the same time, as per the trends of the numbers come in, it's a complete wipeout of the Thackeray reunion which has taken place in the maximum city. The nativist-born Raj Thackeray seems to have lost his deposit in almost 90% of those seats, given the fact that the complete wipeout has taken place at the hands of the Mahayuti alliance. That is the indication coming in from the maximum city as well as other civic bodies across Maharashtra. I'm joined by my colleague Yesha Kotak on the broadcast. Yesha, so clearly the mood is and the josh is high in the Mahayuti camp, given this stunning result that has come in from the maximum city. The Thackeray faction's reunion with Raj Thackeray was unable to stem the tide and the support that the Fadnavis government has at the state level, and it seems that entire faith has emanated down to the civic bodies as well.
Absolutely, and that is quite evident right here, very close to the BJP office. You see a saffron wave all across. Celebrations are in full swing. In fact, until this morning, though the trends last night suggested a clean sweep for Mahayuti, but despite that, early this morning, all we saw was just some barricading. But you know, now just in the last couple of hours, as the trends have picked up from the Mahayuti crossing that halfway mark to now, you know, the BJP itself being very close to the century is where we've seen celebrations have started in full swing. In the next couple of minutes from now, we'd also expect the Chief Minister to be here, the state senior leadership to be here, and also the Mumbai BJP leadership to be here to celebrate this very win. In fact, you see the poster right behind. It shows how, you know, it's the BJP which will now have their reins over the BMC. Clearly so, you know, we've been speaking about the triple engine Sarkar, that at centre, then at state and at Mumbai, and rightly so, that is now possible under the leadership of the Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis. In the last couple of days, there have been several questions that have been asked by opposition as to why the central leadership did not make their way to Mumbai this time around close to the election. In fact, there were allegations that for the smallest of the elections, BJP feels the central leadership. But this time it was on the state leadership. We decided that, you know, they will take on this very task and deliver by themselves, and that is rightly being seen here. In the last 25 years, we've of course seen the Shiv Sena and the BJP being alliance, but however, you know, this time around with the divided Shiv Sena, the BJP, for that matter, Chief Minister had promised that it will be a Hindu Marathi mayor of BJP, which will in fact be sitting at the BMC, and that now looks very close to reality, as you know, when it comes to the halfway mark that's already been crossed. Of course, the decision will be taken in an eventual polling that takes place later on. But now, as of now that we speak of, clearly what was being really spoken about, be it the Marathi Asmita, the pride of Maharashtrians, all of that seems to have really not worked with the voters. In fact, even when, you know, we were in the run-up to the election, we were speaking to several people. They said that in Mumbai, what really matters is development. People who really look at the core issues, someone who can work for their core issues rather than making these promises or making political statements. But you know, that's really you know, come to light now. When we speak about exit poll figures, Right now, when we speak of the BJP, the numbers have gone far beyond what the exit polls in fact had predicted. And you see, this very party office, the state party office, there are flowers that have been put. All the celebrations are ready. Very soon we'll also see jalebis being distributed right here to celebrate this very event. So yes, just a couple of minutes more before this very celebration can begin. In fact, what we also see is that some of the some of those places which are dominant when we speak of the whole Thackeray cousins coming together, it was important to note that it was being seen as a game changer in this very election. But that does not really seem to have worked in the favor. We need to see as to whom Marathi Manus really went in support of, because clearly so far the figures show, of course, a 60 plus mark for the Thackeray cousins. But that Thackeray magic that was being spoken about did not help them get a stronghold over BMC, because BMC has been a stronghold for Shiv Sena and they were really eyeing that. Ever since the Vidhan Sabha elections, it was we could see the kind of magic working in the favor of BJP, and that's rightly so. We've seen that even in the Nagar Panchayat and Nagar Parishad elections, and again in the BMC elections. Right behind me, you can see fireworks have already started, and now in some time from now is where celebration will begin. Right behind me at this BJP office as well.
Right, so the celebrations continuing at the BJP office. Mayuresh, I want to get your take on the Thackeray factor. Now, the inkling was that the Thackeray's were not able to communicate any significant track record when it comes to their performance in the maximum city in Mumbai. Even as Chief Minister, Uddhav Thackeray could not point to any significant kind of project, any significant track record as an administrator. Raj Thackeray was making the rants against the migrant community when it came to Mumbai. So given that entire dynamics of the Thackeray camp within the maximum city, the BJP was trusted to be that kind of political force that could deliver significant change to Mumbai. Clearly there are a lot of problems in Mumbai, but the people of the city feel that the BJP is the best bet to solve those problems.
Oh, absolutely, because this time what has happened, both the brothers have heavily concentrated on Marathi vote. They basically focused on Marathi Manus, Marathi Asmita, and both of them concentrated on Marathi, and that's why a lot of non-Marathi voters must have got upset with this agenda, because we have seen in the past also during Lok Sabha and Vidhan Sabha, a lot of non-Marathi voters have also heavily voted for Uddhav Thackeray. They must be having some anger against the center of the state government. That's why they felt that Uddhav Thackeray and Uddhav Thackeray led Mahavikas Aghadi was the better option for that. So that is one point. Second point, people were having a lot of hopes from Uddhav Thackeray and Raj Thackeray that they will come up with the plans. But there is a kind of a bit of anger against Uddhav Thackeray also, because from past 25 years he was ruling, or his party was in power in BMC, and no significant development had happened except few. So that's why there is a kind of anger against Uddhav Thackeray also, and which must have got percolated. So the magic which everyone was talking about, that Uddhav Thackeray will or Raj Thackeray will do that in favor of Uddhav Thackeray, I can see that the numbers are at least growing, but both the brothers coming together have not heavily contributed or have not served the purpose for it.
Right, and Yasha, when it comes to the dynamics coming in from all of these parties, does it seem that the loss of the... right, we're also joined by Pradeep Gupta of Access My India. I toss over to my colleague Shivani to take that forward.
Thanks a lot for that. Pradeep Gupta, Chairman, Access My India, that had obviously done one of those exit polls ahead of these Maharashtra municipal elections, is also joining us. Pradeep Gupta, thanks a lot for joining us here on CNN News 18. You had predicted anywhere between 131 to 151 for the Mahayuti. The numbers are settling just a little bit lower than that, about 10 lower than that. Is that because of lower voting percentages? How would you describe the results that are coming in?
Yes, thank you for having me here, and I would say in other channel, and particularly there is a website which is a proper website of my corporator. There the number for Mahayuti at this point of time is 130, and for Thackeray brothers it is 72, and for Congress it is 14, and for others it is about 9 and 10. So I mean it is pretty much on that line. But having said that, if you see my prediction report, we have clearly said that if these numbers are based on the voter turnout, because in a city-based election, voter turnout plays a very vital role, and 54% voter turnout, now it end up near to 53, and 1%, I have also written that 1% will impact about 10 seats for Mahayuti. So which is the case, my range would have been in this case 131 to 141, and precisely the 130 what is likely to be there.
So in your exit poll, you obviously saw the Mahayuti combine being, the single largest and clearly crossing that halfway mark of 114. But did you anticipate the BJP alone doing so well?
Yes, it was anticipated, but my range for BJP itself was about 95 seats. So they done little better than that, 99 what I can see on your screen. And Shiv Sena actual tally is 31. So in your screen it is showing 26, it is actually 31. We have predicted about 35 to 40 odd seat for these in this Sena.
So how do you, what do you feel, did you feel worked so well favorably both in for Mahayuti but particularly for the BJP? Because this is a big shift in Mumbai politics now.
Yes, definitely yes, and we'll have to see that the kind of demography evolved over the last 20 years, particularly of Mumbai, for that matter overall metropolitan region. So what had happened actually in last these many years, the Marathi votes total contribution has reduced, and the North Indians, Gujaratis, Rajasthani and others has increased. So at this time it is 37% to be precise, the Maharashtrian votes contributes in the BMC, and about 19% to the Muslim or the minority, rest 44%, some is of course Christian, so about 40 to 42% is non-Muslim, non-Marathi, and that is where BJP or the reverse polarization happens. And what you see actually in our, when we come the vote share between these community group, Marathi BJP plus 30, UBT 49, half of the total Marathi vote share secured by UBT. Among the North Indian, there you see the sharp hike in favor of BJP plus 68%, and UBT only 90%. South Indian 61% to BJP plus 21 to this. Gujarati, Rajasthani 69% for BJP plus and 18%. So here you can see the clear cut. Had there been an alliance of Congress like Lok Sabha or for that matter assembly election, this picture would have been little different.
Right. So you are of course talking about how not coming together has hurt the Mahavikas Aghadi quite a bit in these elections. But these elections are also being seen as a litmus test for that quote-unquote Marathi vote. What were your predictions, and do you think the results are now proving to be correct? It's not as if Uddhav has lost all of that Marathi vote. MNS has performed really badly, I'm sure according to their own expectations. But how much of that was the BJP Shiv Sena able to get versus Uddhav Thackeray and MNS, the Marathi vote?
Yeah, so as far as Marathi vote goes, see, you have to see this thing in pockets. So there are three big regions within BMC. One is the Greater Bombay, which start from the other side, the Matunga to Kolaba, and this side Mahim to Kolaba. So this is one pocket where the Thackeray brothers has scored very good. In fact, in Dadar, Bhiwandi, Dadar, Parel, Lalbagh, Worli, all these areas, Shivaji Park, Thackeray brothers has done very good. But when it comes to the central suburbs, where the vote, the Marathi in particular votes has split between Shinde and Thackeray brothers, particularly Marathi brothers, where the Bhandup, Mulund, all these areas are concerned, and which is the bordering or the neighboring to the Thane, where the Shinde come from, the strong, the bastion of Eknath Shinde hold. And when it comes to the western suburbs, where BJP has done extremely well, like all these elections in the past. So this is something I would say the case. And MNS coming to the fold of the both Thackeray brothers contesting the election, what had happened to some extent, it has consolidated the Maharashtrian votes, but the other side, it also consolidated heavily the other non-Marathi, non-Muslim votes. And as far as the Muslim vote goes, they are also voted differently in three pockets, which is where the predominantly the Muslim minority vote, you can say, which is the Bhaikala, Paidhuni, Kalba Devi. This is the town area where Congress and MIM has secured almost half of the vote. The third is UBT among the minority vote.
So what is the headline? What is the headline really as far as the Marathi vote is concerned? Can the Thackeray still claim they still have very much the support of the Marathi Manus, or has that shifted if we compare it to past elections?
I will say I don't get into all this Marathi vote or this vote or that vote. Whatever the verdict people have given, definitely they have given for the development. And when I say development, in our report, in our exit poll finding, there were issues like drainage system, because 60% of the population residing in chawls and slum area, where during the rainy time they get a very hard time. That's one. Two, the garbage collection. Third, the pesticides, and during that time, particularly dengue, malaria, all these issues had. Because last 4 years, there is no local representative available, because of this election is being held now after 9 years. So this is something very important, and when people vote, they see good development by the BJP, particularly state government, so as the central government, and they believe particularly large infrastructural projects, whether it's the coastal road or whether the metro, multiple metros, and so Atal Setu, so many things. They see, without central support or without the state government support, it is not possible. And we know, although that Mumbaikars and particularly Marathi Banis are smart enough to select the right candidate, party for that matter.
All right. So it is local issues plus developmental issues that have really trumped every other narrative in this election.
Yes.
Pradeep Gupta, I do thank you for joining us and sharing your analysis with us. Back to my colleague Ayushman with more.
And breaking news coming in, the legal tussle continues in the 30,000 crore estate row involving the inheritance of Sanjay Kapoor in the wake of his death. Now, as actor Karishma Kapoor's legal team has now given out this piece of information where they have opposed a plea filed by Priya Kapoor Sachdev in the top court of the country. Priya Kapoor Sachdev had approached the Supreme Court seeking access to the divorce documents related to Sanjay Kapoor and Karishma Kapoor when it comes to not just child custody but also the financial arrangements after their divorce back in 2016. However, Karishma Kapoor's counsel has objected to the plea, arguing that it's not maintainable under law. The court, however, has issued a notice on the plea filed by Priya Sachdev and has directed Karishma Kapoor's counsel to file a formal response within 2 weeks. Now, while the objection on maintainability was raised, the court has also kept the issue open for consideration given the entire tussle over the 30,000 crore inheritance of Sanjay Kapoor and the fight between Priya Sachdev and Karishma Kapoor's children. I'm joined by my colleague Ananya Bhatnagar. Ananya, we were discussing this yesterday as well, the fight over the 30,000 crore estate, and Priya Sachdev has demanded the details of the divorce agreement back in 2016, not only when it comes to the financial arrangements, but even the custody arrangements in that 2016 agreement.
Well, absolutely. In fact, Karishma Kapoor's lawyers have actually opposed this particular plea that has been filed before, in fact, the Supreme Court seeking, the kind of divorce decree and the divorce documents between Sanjay Kapoor and Karishma Kapoor, saying that, Priya Kapoor Sachdev is a third party to this, complete proceeding and cannot seek these documents because these are personal in nature. Not only that, the court has asked, in fact, Karishma Kapoor's lawyers to actually put their, response on or objections on record, but has clearly refused to issue a notice at this particular stage. The hearing would be happening after 2 weeks have been given to actually put their objections on record, and very clearly, Karishma Kapoor's lawyers have opposed this particular plea by Priya Kapoor Sajdev, saying that it's not maintainable in law because Priya Kapoor Sajdev has no locus because she is a third party to these divorce proceedings and she is nobody connected to this particular case, and hence these documents cannot actually be given to Priya Kapoor Sajdev because divorce proceedings are usually personal in nature and these documents cannot be shared, is what in fact Karishma Kapoor's lawyers have actually argued before, in fact, the topmost court of the country. Remember that this hearing was in chambers, hence it was not something that was happening in an open court. So very clearly at this juncture, what we know so far is that 2 weeks time has been given out to file objections, and the hearing has been adjourned today. However, very clearly Karishma's counsels have opposed this particular petition, and we'll have to wait and watch as to how things fold out and where will this whole family feud go up to.
In fact, we're getting another big update that's coming in where Ananya in fact spoke to Sanjay Kapoor's sister Mandira Kapoor Smith when it comes to this entire push coming in from Priya Sajdev in the top court of the country. Now she has termed Priya Kapoor knocking the Supreme Court's door as a ridiculous act. Mandira has also questioned Priya's need for Karishma and Sanjay Kapoor's divorce documents from back in 2016. Listen in.
Call recording floating, Mandira, with regards to Priya Sajdev Kapoor. How do you see these developments taking place? Because since the judgment is already reserved and these call records, which are purportedly floating on social media, tell a different story altogether.
Well, I've always said from the beginning that the truth will come out, and I stand by that. The truth will come out. It's now. Let's see what plan they have to cover it up, whether they, what excuses they're going to come up with. But as far as I go, I've always stood by the truth will come out, and I believe in the justice system in this country. That seems to be happening now.
Priya Sajdev Kapoor has knocked the doors of the Supreme Court, seeking the divorce papers of Sanjay Kapoor and Karishma Kapoor. How do you see these developments? Because certain financial details have also been sought as far as things.
I think it's absolutely ridiculous. Number one, she has nothing to do with it. Secondly, she's already shown it in court, which she shouldn't have, because she's not brought out her divorce, information. No one's asked her. I don't know why she's brought Karishma's out, firstly. She has nothing to do with it, and she has nothing to do with the divorce. So I think it's a bit ridiculous that she has actually gone to the lengths to the Supreme Court to ask for these documents when A, she already has them. B, what are you trying to achieve?
There's a claim that has been made, in fact, by Priya Sajdev Kapoor in a written submission that's been filed before, in fact, the Delhi High Court, wherein she claims that she has borne the expenses of Karishma's children after, in fact, Sanjay Kapoor's death. How do you see that, she has given an amount of over 96 lakh rupees that she has spent on the children as far as their travel and everything else is concerned?
Simple question, is she spending on Azaris? Because those are also my brother's kids. She's not doing any favors. Those are my brother's kids, so they have to be looked after. No one's doing any favors, and again, this is not her estate to be doing anything for anyone. So let's bring out her 2 kids' expenses and see what they're spending on them. Don't try and act like she can't act like she's doing any favors here. These are my brother's kids, this is our estate.
One thing that she has very categorically mentioned during the arguments also and in her written submissions is that both Ms. Rani Kapoor and the children of Karishma Kapoor have already gained a substantial amount of Sanjay Kapoor's wealth as far as the Rani Kapoor Trust is concerned. They've been given a big amount as per Priya Sajdev Kapoor. Is this something that you subscribe by, and why basically she's questioning as to why then after receiving such a big amount these people are knocking the doors of the Delhi High Court?
Firstly, let me make it really clear. It's not hers to give to anyone. It doesn't belong to her, number one. Number two, nobody has received anything. It's all lies. Let her back it up with some truth. But firstly, again, I'm going to stick to it's not hers to give. And again, I'm going to say, if she's so thinking about giving 19 crores or whatever she's claimed, why doesn't she keep that and give the rest back to the family? Because it's not hers to give.
Well, absolutely. In fact, this is the kind of position that's emerging. The judgment is to come out very, very soon. It's already reserved. How hopeful are you with the Delhi High Court judgment?
Again, I'll say I believe in the justice system. I think it's very clear to everybody what is going on, and more comes out every day. I think the ridiculousness of asking to the Supreme Court for a divorce papers or agreement which has happened between someone who would, Lolo, Karishma and Sanjay. Yeah, Sanjay is her ex-husband, but she has nothing to do with Karishma. So I don't understand. I mean, you can see the ridiculousness to distract and do all this rubbish for what? Let's just come out with the truth. Let's be done with this. You've got a whole family suffering this for what?
And Ananya continues to be with us on the broadcast. Ananya, just decode for our viewers, where could the law lean on this, as the Supreme Court has not dismissed the plea that's come in from Priya Sachdev. Now, given the fact that she has sought details about the inheritance agreement that was between Karishma Kapoor and Sanjay Kapoor during their divorce in 2016, she sought the modalities of that agreement in their divorce agreement, and that's why she wants access to those records. Isn't that the nub of the entire tussle between the two sides? Because the family has made it extremely clear that the truth must come out, and Priya Sachdev's argument is that through getting access to those divorce records, the truth will come out.
Well, absolutely. That's exactly what Priya Kapoor Sachdev is saying, though we might not preempt as to what the Supreme Court would be doing. It has not taken any view as far as the maintainability of this petition is concerned, because it has asked Karishma Kapoor's lawyers to actually, raise their objections in writing before the Supreme Court, and only after that, a proper hearing would actually take place in this particular matter, where Priya Kapoor Sachdev is seeking, in fact, the divorce documents of Karishma Kapoor and Sanjay Kapoor. But Karishma's counsels have clearly objected to the same, saying that she's a third party to this particular issue, and since divorce documents are something that are very, very personal in nature, the same cannot actually be given, and this petition shall not be entertained as far as the topmost court of the country is concerned. As far as the Delhi High Court judgment is concerned, we heard Mandira saying that she has in fact a lot of faith in the judicial system, and very soon we might see that the judgment from the Delhi High Court would come in. Remember that Karishma's counsels have constantly told the court that Priya Kapoor Sachdev is a kind of a Cinderella stepmother who took away everything from Sanjay Kapoor's children, especially the ones from Karishma Kapoor. Not only that, Rani Kapoor, who's the mother of Sanjay Kapoor, has also accused Priya Kapoor Sachdev of wrongdoing, saying that various people, unknown people, had actually locked her into a room, and certain documents were signed soon ahead of Priya Kapoor Sachdev taking on the board of directors of Sona concern, and that is something that makes it very, very fishy as far as this family feud is concerned. So we'll have to wait and watch as to how things pan out and where would all of this actually lead to.
Right, but Ananya, just from a legal point of view, the fact that Karishma Kapoor's legal team, as well as certain people connected to her, have talked about aspects of that divorce agreement in public. Could Priya Sachdev's legal team use that as an opening to argue against the plea, now that Karishma Kapoor's legal team has filed that in the top court, opposing Priya Sachdev's plea to get access to those documents?
Karishma's counsels have not yet filed anything before the Supreme Court. They have to file it in 2 weeks, and very clearly at this juncture, what is very, very clear is that the Supreme Court is also to decide on the maintainability, because that issue has been raised by Karishma Kapoor's counsels. But whether Priya Kapoor Sachdev will succeed or not is something that only time can tell us, or the Supreme Court could. But very clearly, the judgment and the arguments before the Delhi High Court have also been reserved. The arguments had been addressed for almost months, and then the judgment was reserved in December 2025. So we'll soon see that the judgment would come out, and some kind of settlement as far as the law is concerned would be done as per this family feud is concerned. So at this particular juncture, all eyes are on the Delhi High Court and the Supreme Court as far as these two petitions are concerned.
Right, so we'll have to wait and see what the Supreme Court has to make of the arguments from both sides, given the fact that Priya Sachdev has said that when it comes to the entire question of inheritance, details of that divorce agreement between Sanjay Kapoor and Karishma Kapoor back in 2016 needs to be accessed to reveal the truth about what was that divorce agreement, what was the modality of the inheritance, as well as child custody, as well as those financial arrangements that were made in that 2016 agreement. We have to wait and see where the Supreme Court leans on that matter. Shifting focus to a wrap of all the other news, Prime Minister Narendra Modi paid homage to Tamil poet Thiruvarur on Thiruvarur Day, saying his works and ideals inspire countless people. He said Thiruvarur stood for a harmonious and compassionate society and urged people to read the Tirukural to understand his timeless wisdom. Tamil Nadu Deputy Chief Minister Udayanidhi Stalin was seen flagging off the Palamedu Jallikattu in Madurai. Actor Vijay's TVK flags were also spotted at the venue, drawing attention. Posters reading non-Hindus entry prohibited area have been put up around Har Ki Pauri in Haridwar. The posters have triggered controversy, with questions being raised over their legality and impact on communal harmony. Devotees are gathering in large numbers at the Triveni Sangam in Prayagraj. As the Magh Mela 2026 begins, pilgrims are taking holy dips, believing it will purify the soul and bring spiritual merit. Rehearsals for the 77th Republic Day Parade are in full swing at Kartavya Path in the national capital. Marching contingents and tableau teams are gearing up for the grand celebrations. Indian men's cricket team head coach Gautam Gambhir visited the Mahakaleshwar temple in Ujjain. He attended the early morning Bhasma Aarti, offering prayers at one of the 12 Jyotirlingas. And the next top story, ladies and gentlemen, that's dominating the headlines and sparking debate across the country. Uproar continues over the reduction of the NEET PG cutoff. The 0 percentile category has now been lowered to -40, triggering widespread outrage across the medical community. Amid this outrage, the IMA President Dr. Dilip Bhanushali has backed the move, saying that the seats must be filled. But the Federation of Resident Doctors Association has urged the centre to withdraw the cutoff reduction, warning that it threatens merit-based selection and could erode public trust in the medical profession. Another federation has also slammed the decision, calling the reduction illogical and unjustifiable. It said that allowing candidates with negative marks to qualify undermines the credibility of the examination and has warned of nationwide protests if corrective measures are not taken. And I'm joined by my colleague Himani Channa on the broadcast. So Himani, when it comes to the arguments coming in from the government, they have said that this move is essential when it comes to filling up the vacant posts across the country. But the issue of credibility and competence is something that the doctors are raising across the country. But the union government, as well as those backing the reduction of the percentile, they are saying that competence as well as credibility is not affected by this move. How do you square that?
Right. So I have the latest here. The Medical Counselling Committee has today released the schedule for round 3 counselling as well. This shows that government stands by the decision of lowering the cutoff to the 0 percentile, and the schedule says that choice filling on the website for the candidates has already been rolled out from today. This means that website has been put open and the aspirants can now fill out their choices till 26th of January, and the schedule says that NEET PG seat allocation allotment process will begin on January 27 and results will be announced on January 29th. This clearly shows that central government as of now is not in mood to take any U-turn. So far, whatever we can understand from the situation, it is the crisis management's, they are trying to manage the crisis because they were faced with heavy numbers of seats that were not filled, around 18,000. And what we understand is that majority of these seats were in the private sector. In the public medical colleges, the seats that were left vacant were the non-medical seats. These are the seats where students are not generally very interested to take up because they actually take up their chances of becoming the clinical, the practicing doctors. Instead, these seats push them towards taking the academic or the professor kind of roles. So majority of clinical seats are now available in the private hospitals, for which majorly the government has also said that they have lowered the cutoff to prevent the wastage of those seats. And when we talk about the private medical colleges and the availability of seats there, we must take into consideration the higher fees, which is upwards of rupees 75 lakh. So when we compare a student who has got negative marks, -40, and bank balance, they can definitely afford those seats. However, student who has got 300 marks out of 800, but they don't have the money to pay that fees, they will not be able to take up those seats and may try to reattempt NEET PG next year, or may try to go abroad, or maybe they try and continue with the MBBS instead of upgrading their skill set.
Right, so this clearly has a lot of issues, and at the same time the argument also coming in that this will only benefit private medical colleges who now have the ambit to fill several vacant seats in their particular institutions at very steep prices, as you were pointing out, Himani. I'm also joined by Dr. Bhibu Anand, Chief Advisor of FIMA. Dr. Anand, where do you stand on this entire order that's come in from the central government to lower the NEET percentile?
Very good afternoon to everyone. Actually, the thing is that when the government has set up this reduction in the NEET PG percentile, the score has fallen to -40 mark. I want to just draw the attention of the government to the point that if a candidate appearing in the exam even attempts not a